Welcome back everyone to the Hello World guys. This is episode number 7 of the Flappy Bird in Unreal Engine series, and in this video we are going to fix a couple of little problem in our game, which is that currently you can see that if I play the game, these pipes that we have got are appearing, but they are like not appearing in the way that they should. Instead they are just like appearing at everything is appearing at a straight level. We want them to be a little higher or lower. Another problem is that you can see, if you can kind of see where the pipe is ending if you are playing the game in full screen, and we don't want that, which means we have to make the pipe a little bigger. So in order to do that, what we are going to do, we are going to go under viewport. Let me select this, and I'm actually going to go ahead and change this size to something like 6. Yeah, and of course the location to 600 as well. And then I'm going to go under this, and let's just change it to something like let's say 300. Actually, let's do it to 500. And yeah, you can see that this is better as well. And let's hit play, and you can see that that problem is solved. Now we cannot see where this is ending. So yeah, so now we want this to be in a way that we have got like everything at a different level. Every obstacle is kind of like a little higher or lower. So for that we are going to use something called the construction script, which is a script that runs as soon as the game starts, or basically this object is spawned or refreshed. So we are going to add a variable called location, which is going to be of type float. This will represent the vertical location of the pipes. Now first thing that we want to do is we want to take these three variables that we got, and we want them to put inside of some other variable that will basically help as you know, you kind of change the location of these three easily. And I'm going to choose scene and just add a scene, which is basically like an empty variable, and make you sure that you detach it from everything else, which means that it's like default root is after the default root, and we are going to put everything as a child of that. Now we can move the scene, and everything else should move with it. And I'm going to actually not rename it, just keep it at scene. So I'm going to take the scene, and you can do a bunch of things here. I'm going to just go ahead and just set location, or maybe you can go ahead and choose something like add local offset. Actually, set location or add local offset, let's say. Yeah, you can use that, or actually we shouldn't actually use that. That might cause a little bit of problems. Let's don't do that. Let's instead add a set relative location. Just use set relative location, and in here we obviously want everything else to be 0 except the z. So we are going to right click and split the pin, and we are going to put our location in the z. So I'm going to take the location, get that, and I'm going to plug that in the z axis. So once we do that, what you should see is that I'm going to make this instead editable. What that does is that if I take my obstacle in the game, you can see that if I actually go ahead and select my obstacle like by clicking on the actual obstacle, and I can press G to make sure I go under the game mode, which means I can see everything like it will be in the game. And I can actually change the location. We have got a variable when we select that, and we can change the location, and this is actually moving the pipes from inside, not the actual whole obstacle object. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, and you can basically select it, and you can like move it there, and you can see if it functions all right. And of course currently we are changing it manually, not everything is happening on its own, so we need to fix that now. So how are we going to do that? First of all, let me just go ahead in the obstacle class. By the way, let's note that we can actually move this to around 150 before it goes off screen. So I'm going to actually delete the location variable because we don't need that anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and choose get a random float in range. And for the range, I'm going to choose negative 150 for the minimum, and for the maximum just positive 150, which should produce what we want, the effect that we want. It should make some of them be higher and some of them be a little lower, as you can see, and that looks pretty awesome. So yeah, once we have got that done, I think that the gap between these pipes is a little too much, so I'm going to go under the pipe, and I'm going to change the bottom pipe. I'm going to change its size to be similar, like 6, but instead of setting its location to, we might go ahead and set it to negative 600 to maintain the ratio that we had before, but I'm going to set this to negative 500. Yeah, and I'm going to set it to negative 500, and for the top one I'm going to do similar. I'm going to set it to 500 instead of 600. Yeah, and that should if I play the game now, you should see that we have got a yeah, everything is perfect. Okay, so if I go ahead and actually play the game, yeah, let's play the game. What you should see is that the gap between the pipe is a little less, which causes the game to be a little bit more challenging, which is exactly what we want. Flappy Bird is supposed to be challenging. So yeah, now we have got this done, and this was pretty much it for this video. In the next video we'll add more stuff, so yeah, stay tuned for that, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to share this video with other people, and bye.